Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So it's that time of week again. It's our usual Saturday night live, but this week it's the last Saturday of the month, so it's your opportunity to come up and join me live on air. So if people do want to come up and join me and say hello and oops, let's mute that very quickly. That was an accident. Sorry about that. So if people do want to come up and get on the screen with me, then get up here and say hello. So I think Steve's just messaging me with a request to come up. So let me get Steve up here as well, and he can come and have a chat with us. He was up here He was up here last month as well, so he had a good time. I think he enjoyed it. So let me get him up. There we go. There's a link sent over to Steve. So yeah. So what's everyone been up to this week? I hope you've all been well. I hope you're all keeping busy. Steve, I've sent you that link. So let's see who's here so far. We've got Abu Hassan, we've got Assalamu alaikum, we've got Belinda, Norfolk. I nearly did it, Steve, mate. I nearly did it. How's everyone keeping? Um, so we've had an absolutely crazy day today. Really busy day out in the garden. We got a lot of work done, getting more potatoes planted. Uh, I grow my potatoes in wood chips, so I grow a lot of my I mainly grow my main crops in wood chips. So I know I did a video on planting earlies in buckets. I'll Earlies are good in buckets because earlies are normally quite finicky little plants. The potatoes can get a bit slug infested quite quickly. So I grow them in buckets and give them a bit of a safer environment. But I grow my mains in wood chips, and That's what I've been doing today, getting my wood chip bed ready, getting all that wood chip shifted, and getting a video filmed on that. So keep an eye out for that. Here we go. Steve's in the studio, so let's get Steve added to the screen.
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
How are you doing? Thank you very much for joining me on air.
You're welcome, my friend. You're welcome.
Oh, you're a bit. Hang on.
I'm trying to get it sorted out. Oh, how's that? That better?
Hang on. What's going on? Let me mute that. Unmute that so I can actually hear what you're saying. So, how are you doing, Steve? Are you keeping well?
I've been good, mate. I've had a good few hours down clearing the orchard today.
Right. What have you been doing? What have you been clearing?
Well, the orchard's been well overgrown, so we've been clearing a load of brambles, a load of self-seeded hawthorns, been chainsawing them down, trying to get the orchard back into use. So it's coming on along really well.
Nice one.
What about yourself? What have you been doing?
I mean, today we've been getting our potato bed ready for. Do you know the wood? Have you ever seen one of my wood chip potato videos?
I have, yeah. It's very, very, very good, mate. Very good.
So what I've been doing today is we shifted probably about 6 or 7 wheelbarrow loads of wood chips to get one of my beds mulched and got that planted up. So I've gone with Desiree potatoes. I love Desiree potatoes.
You've planted your mains already?
Yeah, but normally you're supposed to plant mains probably about mid-Aprilish. But because of the way the wood chips are and the way they hold the heat then they hold the heat and they warm up and they keep that moisture inside as well. You can go a little bit earlier and you can get a decent crop from it.
That's good. That's good.
I mean, the reason that we go a little bit earlier as well is we get blight quite a bit. I mean, blight's a nightmare for us. And, it can cause a lot of issues. So if we get them planted earlier, then we can get a decent crop before we're disease ridden.
So the blight's obviously airborne.
Yeah.
But all of your neighbours get it as well?
I mean, we're the only ones around here who are gardening like this in the back garden, because we're in the middle of the city. I don't get down to the allotments and see people down there, but because we're in the middle of the city, there's not many people gardening like this in the. So I don't know about my neighbours,
Right.
but you mentioned blights airborne. There's different strains, right? There's a lot of blight that's airborne, but there's some blights that can overwinter. And because of the changes in soil, there's strains of blight that's actually overwintering in the States. It hasn't got over here yet, but there is a chance that if we, I mean, with all diseases, they very quickly spread, don't they?
They do. They do. They're awful. Once they get hold, it can be terrible.
Mm. So let's just say hello to a few people in the chat and see if we've got anyone else who wants to come up and join us. So let's see if I don't say your name, I do apologize. We've got Shazia, we've got Chase, we've got Belinda, Jomi, Rose Allotment, Hajra Begum, Bolton Homesteaders. Gary, how are you doing? Rabia, Gary's Durham Allotment. Gary, mate, how are you keeping? So if anyone else does want to join us, it works quite well when we get four people up here. It works quite well when we've got just the one. But yeah, if you do want to
come
join
on board, come on. Join us.
come and join in on the party and get it all kicking. So
Having a beard's not.
It's not a condition. So, John, do you want to come up then? Drop me a message and I'll send you the link for it. So if anyone wants to come up, you're very welcome to. Gary, what have you been up to at the moment? Let's see who else is in the chat. Do you know Karen from Rose Allotment Adventures? So she's saying that. Hang on, let's get the comment up here. So you're saying you don't want me on there? I'm in the bath. Oh.
She's got the bath in the garden, growing stuff.
Oh, were you talking about growing stuff in baths? Actually, were you asking about that a few weeks ago?
I'm hoping to. I found an old bath. I might grow some carrots in.
They're brilliant for carrots, you know. Because I've got an old bath in my really old greenhouse. I've got 3 greenhouses, 2 that work and one's fallen apart, and that needs to come down. But I've still got a bath in there. And what we did with that was we just put a layer of rocks in the bottom, you know, smash some holes through the bottom, and then just filled it with sifted compost and sand. And that's been brilliant for growing carrots in.
That's good.
Yeah, it did really, and you don't get carrot fly or anything like that with them either. So
no, it's raised quite high, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So Gary's saying my hair's like Ron Burgundy. No chance it's being shown on camera. Who's Ron Burgundy?
What?
So Yusuf Narut is here. Assalamu alaikum. How do I message it? No, message me on Facebook and I'll send you the link. So been busy with solar irrigation. Oh, that's interesting. So how are you setting up your solar irrigation? Because that sounds quite complicated, that as well. What are you doing for power on your place, Steve?
Power?
Mm.
Nothing really. Just these. My hands.
How big is your plot? How big is it? Where you've got?
In total, I think it's about an acre.
So,
but obviously it's new, it's virgin. We're just trying to break ground and get all the buildings sorted out, get the no dig garden beds going.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've got far more seeds than I've got room for, so I might need to create some more beds. But yeah, it's good fun. good. Lots of hard work.
So have you just recently bought that place then, or what?
I've moved in with a new partner, and
Okay.
so she's not been into gardening. So I've been gardening for most of my life, really. So it's just a good challenge to take on new concepts that some of the old ingrained ideas of allotmenteering, get rid of them, try this no dig permaculture type stuff.
You've gone quiet on me, Steve.
I'm sorry, mate. I talk too much sometimes.
No, it just sort of it just muted for a second.
Well, I wasn't swearing. You might.
I've got your son.
Unintentionally, yeah.
I'm not even. I try my best not to swear, but you guys proper get me. That first time when you got me, that was bad. I was really.
Yeah. Well, Dean made the most of that, didn't he?
Yeah, and then he made the little video afterwards on it. So yeah, that was classic. Let's see. So we've got another one who's joining us. So this is one of our Facebook friends. She's quite active on our Facebook group. John, you will have seen her on there. So let's add her to live. How do we? That's the right button. There we go.
Hi everyone.
Hi John. How you doing?
Nice to see you. Yeah, good. Had a productive day. I dug up my first flower bed today.
First flower bed?
Yeah. Well, I just dug up the grass. See how it goes. If it dies.
What flowers are you going to grow?
So I've got some calendula sprouting, sunflowers, and I'm hoping other bits do come up. But everything will be from seeds.
So calendulas, did you say?
Yeah.
The marigolds.
Yeah.
They're beautiful. They smell really, really nice.
Oh, that's good. I've never seen them in person or been aware anyway. It's the first time I'll do flowers this year. Motley, right. I'll send you some bits and bobs that I've been collecting.
Calendulas are brilliant, just as companion plants for most things as well. If you're growing tomatoes, if you're growing pretty much anything, they're really good to have around because the scent of the leaf, it detracts things like black fly and aphids and stuff like that. So it's really good for stuff like that.
Oh, that's good. I might put some more in the soil.
But you can also, if you soak the flowers in oil for a month or two, you can use that oil as an astringent hand wash.
Oh yeah, I have seen it. I've seen calendula in a lot of beauty stuff, like herbal stuff.
Yeah, it's very good. Really good.
That's good.
So Dean, I'm just reading this with a chat. Dean's message to say that he's working tonight, so he can't join us, but he's just come in to say hello quickly. So Dean's driving while he's supposed to be working. Okay, here's a nice question. So has anyone had any?
What did you just say?
Here's a nice question. Has anyone had any issues with tomato plants drooping down? Not quite sure what's happening. Are they quite leggy tomatoes? Because if they're quite leggy tomatoes and they haven't got enough water, they can get a bit droopy. But if they do start drooping, one of the tips you can do is to plant them, repot them and get them into soil a little bit deeper. If you haven't got a deep plant pot, then if you take something like a Coke bottle, a fizzy pop bottle, and just plant it into there, and you've got all that growing space. So I plant them in fizzy pot bottles. Either you might have seen in some videos pot noodle pots.
Yeah.
They're a lot deeper than normal plant pots.
Yeah.
So I'll plant them in there, and then if they're too leggy for that sort of thing, then I'll plant them in a fizzy pot bottle. Just cut the top off, plant them in the bottom of the fizzy top bottle, and as they grow up, I just top it up with soil, and then they send out all the way up to about 8 inches.
Great idea.
End up with a massive ball, and when I plant that in, it just kicks off really well.
That's good to know, because mine are really leggy. A lot of my seedlings didn't survive from January. The ones that did are really leggy and weak. So I'm trying
What
to
have you planted so far?
So I planted chilies, aubergines and tomatoes in January, but I'm trying again from last week, some more lemon chilies. I had some seeds, but then I just gave the flowers a go because I knew I could start them a bit later. I think in a week or two, I'll probably start doing the melons and things that I've got. I don't know if that's too early, but I'll look into it.
No, do you know this? We're getting to that time where you can pretty much plant everything, and it leads us nicely onto this question here. So I'm so behind with my seeds, but April, you know, a lot of people don't even start sowing their seeds till April. So you're not far.
Yeah, the first time I gardened in mid-May, and I got quite a lot of things. But then again, I know I'm in the south of UK, and I probably have milder weather than up north. But I did get quite a lot of random things that I honestly didn't think that would survive.
It's always worth finding out when your average last frost date is.
Yeah.
And if you're sowing indoors, start sowing about 6 to 8 weeks before the last frost date. Give you a couple of weeks to germinate, 4 or 5 weeks to grow and harden them off, and then you've got all your plants ready to chuck out when the frost has gone.
Yeah.
I think Ashley's saying he wants to join us. Ashley, if you want to join us, just drop me a message on Facebook, and then as soon as it pops up, I'll send you a link to join us up on the live. So let's just have a look at some of the comments.
John, where are you? You say you're in the south of England, John. Whereabouts?
Oh, I'm near Southampton.
Oh,
I was a little bit
you
more
can't get much more south than that, can you?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we can see France from our port or something.
Never mind. Some people have to put up with that.
No, we can see the Isle of Wight, sorry, from our port, not France. We can see France from Isle of Wight.
So that's pretty far south. That's like another world for me. see anything south of Birmingham is like another planet.
And I did grow up in East London, so that's why I probably don't sound like a Hampshire girl yet.
I wouldn't know what a Hampshire girl sounds like.
Yeah, I got that London twang from the.
Yeah, I've lost a lot of it because I've moved out for about 8-9 years now. So I lost a lot of the East London twang.
East London.
That's it. I was Danny Dyer. Did you want to see my citrus trees? I'm so excited with them, but I don't know what to do.
Go on, show us your citrus.
I'm just sending a few people some messages, so you guys just carry on.
Made a little. Yeah, no.
How long have you had them?
1 day.
Oh, you've only had them a day.
I just made a little citrus display just because.
You've not grown them yourself.
Gary, no. I've just sent you a link so you can join that.
This is the same calamondin. They're both the same species purely because I must have got there too late and missed out on the other on the lemons and oranges. So this one was £18 and you can see it's got a little bit of height to it, and this one is
are you going to keep them indoors?
£10. Yeah, I'm going to keep them here because I've got big windows here, so it does get really sunny and hot, and I've got skylights in the kitchen.
Lovely.
So I think it will get enough sun, but as long as we don't move it. But I know my partner wants to move them somewhere else because they're decorative. So we bought them for decorative reasons, but I don't think they'll do great where he's wanting to put them. So.
But they look good. They look good now.
Yeah, they look really. They smell amazing. Like the leaves smell amazing, really fragrant and different to orange. Different to how orange leaves and lemon leaves smell. So, which is quite.
Well,
nice.
let's hope you can look after them.
Yeah. Yeah, let's hope. It's my first fruit trees. So.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So,
and we're looking into pear trees.
Yeah.
Here's a comment. So, what's the most exotic thing that you managed to grow in the UK? So, you guys answer that first.
All right. Thanks to you, Monty, my shark fin gourds are doing really, really well. They're about 8 inches high now.
Nice one. I did melons, 2 types.
So, shark fin gourds, what the Bengalis call Chinese kumra.
That's it. Yeah. The
Oh,
Chinese.
did you manage to do that? That's amazing.
Yep. They're growing well. In my new grow room as well.
So we're getting someone else coming up. I think it's going to be a busy night tonight. You know, we're getting loads of people wanting to come up.
That's looking good.
Look, we've got Gary from Baltic Homesteaders. He runs a really cool YouTube channel actually. Gary, your picture's not showing for some reason. I've added you, but you're not. Oh, let's add you back. Yeah, he's got a YouTube channel.
When I did melons, I did them outdoors because I don't have a greenhouse. I'm not allowed one yet. So,
and did they work?
Yeah, I actually got fruit? 2 or 3 from each plant. But as I said, it's because I think I sowed them in May and I put them out in hot, so they sprung up really quickly and they got strong really quickly, I think. But
and what's the microclimate like around you?
Pardon?
The microclimate around where you garden, what's that like?
So where previous to this house, it was a lot milder than it is here because we're a bit closer to the coast here. And it's only slightly noticeable, like 2 or 3 degrees off.
Right.
But I've only been living in this place a year. And yeah, it's similar climate, like a bit milder than I think up north. And where I grew them was more against the fence and quite sheltered, but very, very sunny spot. So it got sun most of the day.
That's
so I think
good.
That helped.
Yeah. So you got all that latent heat coming off the fence.
Yeah, I think
keeping
that's
the plant healthy.
Yeah, and there was a lot of other plants near it, so I think that kind of stopped a lot of the wind cooling it down and things.
See,
yeah, sometimes plants like melons, they like a lot of ground cover around them to keep the roots cool.
Okay.
See, the roots want to be cool, but the plants want that heat as well to get fruit. So
exactly.
you really need that climate. I mean, I've never grown melons. I've never grown melons in the UK, but I do grow a lot of bottle gourds. I grow all kinds of gourds, hyacinth beans, ginger. We've got passion fruit growing. I mean, passion fruit's really easy to grow over here, actually.
Okay, from the supermarket fruit.
Yeah, I mean, the ones from the super. Do you know, like
hey, Gary,
you can get passion fruit that there's the ornamental varieties, but the fruit is still edible, but it's not great. I've got some passion fruit seeds this year that I've started. And hopefully they're the edible variety, and they should do all right. So we've just been joined by Gary. Gary, how are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming up and joining us. How are you keeping?
Hello.
Hi, Gary.
Hi, everyone. Good to be here.
How's things in Latvia?
It's been really well, uncharacteristically warm today. We've had sort of 15 degrees centigrade.
How far are you from Riga?
Oh, about 100 kilometers north.
Okay, because my brother lives out in Riga. He's got a place out. Gary, you've gone again. We've got Ashley coming up to join us. Ashley, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming up and saying hello.
Hello.
All right. Hi, Ashley.
So here's a common problem. Mice dug up and eat my pea seeds, but also the baby cabbage leaves are eaten. Do you know if there were mice? So what do you think about this, guys?
Yeah, most likely to be mice.
See, mice do go for I mean, mice or rats, they do get the peas. They normally get the peas from underneath. But your cabbages, were they planted outside or were they indoors? Because mice wouldn't
Your
normally
cabbages.
get the leaves.
Will the cabbages not mostly be eaten by pigeons?
Yeah, if they're outside, we've got a horrible time with pigeons. There's a couple of wood pigeons that just roost in a tree next door, in the next door's garden.
A couple. I've got about 1,000 of the buggers.
The thing is that they start off with a couple. And then every few months they're having babies, and then
I've got a row of conifers. There's about 100 conifers, all about 90 foot tall. Pigeons roosting the hell out of them. I'm going to have a big fight on my hands this growing season.
So I'm trying jackfruit. Which country are you in? You're trying jackfruit. I've got a couple of jackfruit trees in my house.
Have you?
I don't ever expect them to fruit. If you guys talk, I'll go and get one.
Yeah, amazing. That's amazing.
You guys
We'll
talk.
carry on
Talk
talking.
amongst yourself. I'll go and get one.
So Ashley, what have you been growing?
What have I got growing at the moment? Cabbages, cauliflower, few tomatoes at the minute, mainly in the greenhouse, just coming on at the minute. But broad beans, I've got strawberries out on the plot. They're coming back now because it's starting to warm up. But I've got some seeds here from America, so I'm going to give those as well. I don't know if you've heard of them. All sorts. Early round Dutch cabbage there.
Oops.
Purple Sicily.
Well, that wasn't.
Hold on. Monty's back.
That wasn't clever. My wife's going to kill me. My wife's going to kill me when she gets up because I've just dropped a pot of soil all over the carpet in the bedroom.
Cleaning the carpet.
I know, when that happens, I hide the evidence quickly.
You're in trouble.
And someone said, what channel do I have? I don't have a channel.
So here we go. There's a jackfruit.
Amazing.
That's about 2 years. 2 years old? I don't expect everything fruit, but it's a nice reminder of Bangladesh. And here's a pomegranate.
It was 50 years Bangladesh's birthday yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah. Did you see all the?
It was, yeah, 50 years.
It was on the BBC News.
I'm just trying to pick up some of this soil. I'll be with you in a second.
Well, someone asked if I've got a channel. I don't have one, but it was me who grew melons, and I grew them outdoors. I got the melons from real seeds, and they were early variety, not late. Sorry, they were early variety. I specifically chose that to try and keep my chances high.
Nice. Derek, I see Derek has buzzards nesting near him and hawks, and he's near me in Norfolk. Whereabouts in Norfolk are you, Derek?
So, guys, if I'm not saying hello to any of you, then I do apologise. I've seen Nick come in. Rob's here, the Kilted Gardener. Rob's been up here live with us before. If anyone else does,
Belinda.
Make it even a bigger, crazier party, then get up here and we'll send it absolutely. Alex, how are you keeping? Yeah, that's one of my pomegranates. I mean, pomegranates will grow in this country. If you could, down south, you might have a good chance of getting them to actually ripen.
Dean wants on.
Yeah, I'm just gonna send him a link.
Jane, it was 5 dessert melon, and I think it was a Chinese small variety as well. I'll have to double check, but if you're in the group, I can put it in the group when I find it. If you're in the Facebook group, I'll put it in the group.
So Jeannie's saying she just picked up 14 tomato variety. Oh, I'm in the wrong. See, I flicked over from StreamYard to YouTube, and I'm trying to click on the link to get the link. The comment up on the screen. I couldn't do it. But
Can't multitask.
yeah, I know. I'll just go all over the place. I struggle with
I
one
saw
job.
someone grow a mango tree, and it only got to about a foot high in London.
I've got a
But they
mango
grew it knowing
downstairs.
they didn't expect it to fruit. They left it outdoors.
See,
I simplify.
I've got a mango downstairs that's similar size to the jackfruit. So I try and I try and keep that connection with Bangladesh.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's more. Someone asked on the Facebook group the other day, why are you trying to grow these things if they're never going to fruit? It's more nostalgia, really. A little bit of and keeping up with that, keeping that connection. Because I just my whole garden, the way I've laid out my garden, it's just like a Bangladeshi village.
Yeah. That's what appeals. That's what appealed to me from your channel. And there are a lot of Bengali YouTubers who speak in Bengali, but then because you speak in both or in English, I can, understand it and learn better. If that makes sense. And I don't personally eat a lot of the hodu and the snake. What's it called? The gourds. I don't personally eat it, but when I grow it, I get so much activity in my house. Like people come over to see it and whatnot.
It becomes an event, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I get phone calls just asking about my plants, not my kids, not me.
See, someone. I went to the grocery shop the other day, and it's the first time it's ever happened. But this guy starts screaming from the bottom of the road, "Baisab, you're famous!" And he comes, and I'm like, "What's going on here? Who's he talking to?" And he goes, "Oh, my wife watches you all the time." I'm like, "Eh? What are you talking about?" He's like, I didn't know how to react, but so it's someone that I know, but now he's taking notice because I'm on YouTube and I'm growing hodls. He's like, "Yeah, I want to garden." So, Tony, how are you doing? I haven't said hello to you, mate. We've got Riot, Yasmin, Gary's tried coming and joining us a couple of times, but he's having a few issues with internet connections. So it's a shame Gary can't come up. So, Ashley, what have you been up to?
Oh, I've been organising my plot. I've been ever since last year. I was running it down so as I get things a bit more organised, and bringing on some seed. I've got a lot of seeds here from America, actually. You might know about these, Monty, because they're chili. The black Hungarian.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I've tried those.
I've not tried those, but I've tried. I've got Hungarian hot wax this year. They're supposed to. Okay.
That one. That just looks like a plate of worms.
They look like Bangalore whippet tails.
See, they look a lot like the normal, the chilies that you dry for chili flakes.
Yeah. But yeah, I've got a lot here. You might know, Monty, but I'm in this shed wars thing where it's a global. So part of that was that somebody from America sent over a box of seeds, and we are talking like a shoebox full of seeds.
Okay.
So they get passed on to him. He takes his pick of the seeds he wants to grow, and then he sends them on to the next person, and then so on and so forth.
Okay, that's an interesting idea. Because
a lot of them are actually heirloom. So I'm going to be saving, you know, letting them go, let one plant go to seed, and then I've got my own.
Oh, fantastic. See, that's one of the really good things about heirlooms rather than hybrids. But you know, even with that hybrid, right, you know, say that you grow an F1 hybrid tomato. When you plant the seed that you save from there, the next one's still going to be a tomato. It's not going to, it might not be true to the parent, but it's still going to be a tomato. It's not going to turn into an apple.
Yeah.
Yusuf,
But
Yusuf, how's the plot hunting going?
Who's plot hunting?
Yusuf.
Oh yeah, Yusuf. How are you getting on with your plot? So we've got Sam's allotment diary. Sam, how are you keeping, mate? Thanks very much for coming in. We're good. How are you keeping? So West London's Jommy, you're on mute. I don't know if you delivered
Yeah,
the mute.
sorry, I didn't realise. So yeah, it's funny. I had a newborn child, right? And the first thing that people would ask about is literally, how's your hodu doing? And it was still a seedling. It was still a seedling. It was younger than my child. My child was a newborn.
Nick's allotment diaries here. Nick, I think I've seen you in here for quite a while, mate, and I don't think I've said hello to you. But do you want to come up and join us as well? Make this party even bit better. Lynn's is here as well from My Little Bit of Peace. We've got
Sam's allotment diary up here.
Always Qadri's here. Assalamu alaikum.
Waz, how you doing?
So, who else is here? If I haven't said any hello to anyone, I do apologise.
Hi, Nick.
Are people going to take advantage of the good weather this week?
Are you getting good weather? Because it's supposed to be. We had hailstones yesterday.
Yeah, we had hailstones yesterday too. But it's supposed to be nice Monday, Tuesday.
We're supposed to be getting gale force winds tomorrow and torrential rain.
And you deserve it. You deserve it living in Leeds.
See, I can handle.
You used to work in Leeds. It's horrible.
See, I can handle the cold and I can handle the rain, but the wind really causes some of the most damage.
Yeah.
What was it, like a couple of years ago when we had all those storm Ciara and a couple of other storms that hit us all together in one go? It caused some real damage in our garden.
As a Yorkshireman, you need a whippet to protect you from the wind.
Do you know what? I did a live stream from the middle of Storm Ciara. So while Storm Ciara was going on, it was like massive droplets of rain. So I thought, oh, this is going to be a perfect time to go and do a video. And I thought, right, might as well just turn it into a live stream. I didn't last long. Within about 30 seconds, I was hiding in the greenhouse.
Yusuf, I saw that thing about your plot that you went to look at. It didn't look very good.
So what? I went to see the plot earlier this week. It was very small. The downside for me was no water source. The neighbours said you can get it from my friends. It looked like someone's garden. Was that a proper allotment or what? What was it?
It looked like a vineyard.
That's what I was thinking. You know, it looked like it was on a back street or something.
Yeah.
But
No,
those walls,
you
know, those walls would give you a nice walled garden effect and give you that extra bit of heat in there.
When a council puts down a waiting list for 1 year, 3 years, 7 years, is that legit? Because I'm wondering if I should put my name down now.
I think you should put your name down. Joy, if you're thinking about getting an allotment, I think you should put your name down because the long waiting lists and
So they are true then, the long waiting lists.
But
Yeah,
they are
yeah,
true.
they are.
But at the same time, sometimes you can just, even though you're not, you know, even though it's a long waiting list, you for some reason it might pick you and pull you up.
Okay.
You know, they might offer it to the person in front of you, and
Yeah. I've made friends with someone who's got 2 allotments, and then her husband's got 1. So they've got 3 between both of them.
So here's a question: anyone grown avocado trees?
Someone mentioned earlier there's a tree that has avocados in London, right?
Say that again.
Someone mentioned earlier in the chat there's a tree in London that has real avocados.
Okay, because I mean, Tony's done a lot of videos. You know, Tony from Simplify Gardening, he's done a lot of videos growing avocados. Tony, have you ever actually grown a proper avocado, or just the tree? Dean, I've sent you a link, by the way, a while ago. You coming up? Tony's
I'm
the
tempted to have a barbecue on Tuesday, West London.
See, quite
yeah,
the last
always
one
barbecue.
before Ramadan.
Barbecue.
Right, while
Nothing
you're
wrong
doing
with a good
that,
barbecue.
check the weather quickly, because while you guys are talking, I'm gonna check my Leeds weather. Because if it's gonna be that sort of temperatures, I might bunk off work. Okay, there we go.
Your boss ain't watching.
We've got that on YouTube now. Hope your work watching.
I work for myself.
Oh, okay. That's all right.
You need to ask the boss though.
But I promised someone that
She might want a shoebox back.
I promised someone I'd get their work done by Tuesday, so let's see. I might have to do a bit of overtime tomorrow and take Tuesday off. So Tony's got proper avocados growing. Tony from Simplify Garden, he's growing avocados.
Talking of exotic plants, did anyone see that? Was it a West Indian person in England? I think in London somewhere, grew a banana tree in the front door with real bananas.
Really?
Growing. It was on Gardener's World, I think, a couple of years back.
You can grow.
I might have mentioned it in the group once.
So again, he must have had a lot of latent heat from the building.
He grew. It was on. It was either BBC News or ITV News, or it was on Gardener's World. But his banana tree was on the front of his porch or his door.
Right. If only we had somebody who'd been on Gardener's World to help us out.
Oh. If only. He's busy signing autographs.
So,
thank you, Rose.
And
Leeds General Hospital, they've got like a walled garden. Do you know, in the middle of the hospital, it's built like a cube, and in the middle of the hospital, they've got like a walled garden, and they've got loads of banana trees in there, and they're actually getting bananas. I was trying to find a way. I was trying to sneak into that garden through a fire exit last time I was there. Last time I went in for a scan, I was trying to sneak into the walled garden through a fire exit. But security looked at me and said, oh, he's looking a bit suspicious.
Not here to take your meds, here to take your bananas, thanks.
Be careful, I've dropped soil there. Okay.
Drops?
What
have you put? You guys have got what on your faces?
I split a plant today. It was this anthurium. It's a house plant. Not today, sorry, a couple of days ago, and I got 5 plants out of it. One of these ones. What's it? There we go. Quite impressed with that. It's my first indoor plant.
Awesome.
Hello.
Hello.
Well done, Johnny. I split a sage the other day, and both bits died.
What did it? Which one?
Bye bye.
I split a sage.
Sage.
And they died, both of them.
Oh.
I
The
don't
bit
know.
I split off and the parent.
Oh no, I was kind of holding my breath with these because I've never had indoor plants, and plus they're a bit fiddly to take care of for me. So they seem to be doing okay 3-4 days later.
Good, well done.
So West London Gardener said there's a 10-year wait in their local allotment. Wow. But where you guys are is probably every little bit of every inch of soil is probably gold dust, isn't it?
Yeah, in the south. Yeah, and they're felling a lot of, in my local area, they felled a lot of trees. It's becoming quite quite a
Welcome
heated
back,
issue,
Leslie.
actually, to build houses, more houses than they actually committed to in the first place. So it's become, and plus they're trying to extend an airport, which is just down the road to us. So I think I better grab one now, actually, considering.
So 14 days weather forecast, predicted snow at the end of next week. Oh, it's gonna be a funny month, isn't it? So just guard everyone.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have 4 seasons in the next.
You just
2
got to be
weeks as
careful
well.
and make sure that you don't get conned by the warm weather.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna do anything plant wise. I just want to enjoy it. Either just go to a garden centre and walk around, because that's where
Get the barbecue
you
lit.
can do, or get a barbecue done. Yeah, and plus we have Ramadan coming up, so I just want to make the most of a warm weather. Seeing as Easter holidays doesn't look great as well weather wise.
Yeah, it's not far off now into Ramadan. Only a couple of weeks. So a lot of us will be fasting. I mean, last year the days are getting shorter now, so it's getting a lot easier.
Do you think? I always find it a bit like the same, regardless of the season.
They're not getting shorter, Monty. They're getting longer.
No, I'm talking about fasting for Ramadan.
Oh, sorry.
So the cycle goes the other way.
Yeah, it follows the lunar calendar. So the annual is 300 and instead of 365, it's something like 354 days. So the month goes like 10 or 11 days earlier every year.
Yeah. So last year we were gardening in May, so peak. There's not much to do in May, so it's not that bad during the garden. But this year it's going to be full on in the middle of April and early May when you're planting everything out. Last year it was May and June when you're just supposed. When I'm normally I've done all my planting and I'm just pottering about really.
Yusuf, yes, I found they can germinate months later. And drops, I did cinnamon basil and lemon basil. They taste amazing. So I didn't know you could split basil.
Tony finally got Tina to the plot today. Is that the first time since you've been together? With basil, easy tip for growing basil, right? Just snap it, cut a bit off, take a cutting, just leave it in a glass of water. Within about a week, you're gonna have a whole new basil plant. I put some pictures up on the Facebook group last year around it because I don't sow basil from seed because it can be quite a bit. It can be quite. I found it quite hard to germinate. I don't know about anyone else. So
yeah, I noticed somebody said they're still waiting for their basil and their coriander to germinate today.
See, coriander's easy. I find coriander very easy because
Coriander germinates real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I just use the method my mum showed me. So you take coriander, soak it for overnight, take a damp tea towel, put the seeds inside there, and within a few days you get sprouted coriander seeds.
I find basil quite easy to grow from seed.
Yeah?
I think they need heat, don't they?
When I get to about 8 leaves, that's when I take the cuttings off and grow more plants from it.
Oh, I wish I used to do that.
See, last year what I did was I just bought one supermarket plant, took loads of cuttings, and then just had loads of plants.
That's good. Yeah.
For some reason, I've gone off basil.
Well, when I tried the lemon and cinnamon one, it doesn't taste like typical basil, but it tastes really good in like a watery curry. You know what I'm talking about.
So let's see.
Yeah, lemon basil noodles.
So there's a nice little tip. So Jane's saying basil germinates better if you cover to keep out the light until you see the leaves. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't know that. See,
Good tip, that one. Good tip.
it's just I just get a bit lazy with that one. There's some plants that I'll take a lot of effort on, and then some things that I think it's it's easier to do it this way. But but when you grow it from seed, obviously you get more variety and you get more choice. I mean, that's what I used to do with onions. Like I'd always grow onions from sets, but you get such a wide variety of choice if you grow from seed. And since last year, I stopped growing from sets completely and just grow from seed now.
When you grow from seed, do you do them in propagators or do you do them straight in the ground? I know you've done a video on it, but
yeah, always do them in seed trays first because do them in seed trays and then plant them in little. So if you've got a modular seed tray, drop a couple of seeds, 2 or 3, maximum 5 seeds in each cell, and just plant out the whole lot.
Okay.
Right.
That's exactly what I do. Multi-sow them.
Yeah. And you can either take the young ones off and have them as spring onions.
Yeah.
And leave the big ones to get bigger, or you can just leave them all and then all get to a decent sized bulb. They're not going to be massive, but they'll get to a decent sized bulb. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see who else is
Multi-sowing onions gives you more onions per square foot of ground, unless you're competing with somebody like Dean for the biggest flipping onion you can grow. You might as well multi-sow them.
You know what would be amazing is just to never buy onions again, because we just use so much. I cook a lot of curry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, multi-sow them from seed. They're brilliant.
Yeah. I find that I miss them. It's probably my eyesight, so I miss that they're seedlings and I forget to water them and they probably die.
And that's the worst thing with onions as well, because they just look like little shoots of grass.
Yes. I think, yes, they look like little grass. So I think, oh, maybe that's a weed, forgetting that it's onion.
I multi-sow my leeks as well. That's how I do my leeks. I multi-sow those. It does save a lot of space.
Ashley, that's another good plant to multi-sow. Beetroot, leeks, onions.
Yeah, I've done the same with beetroot this year.
What's Chinese cabbage? I tried that. Is it not kohlrabi?
Chinese pak choy.
Pak choy, yes.
Boy cabbage, is it?
That overwintered. I had one and I didn't touch it. I didn't eat it or anything, and it's still looking cute in my little pot. I had everything else died, but the pak choy is looking fine, and that was from seed.
See, I stuck some and some komatsuno in the greenhouse. I think in about December. They look really. They're in February. We got that really cold snap in February, and everything in the garden just killed everything. They look really miserable after that. But in the last couple of weeks, they've just really perked up, and the leaves are the size of my hand now. So they're going to be ready to pick anytime now. We're getting lettuces. We should have lettuces ready to harvest in the next couple of weeks as well. So if you've got the space, early sowings can really make a difference.
Yeah, I'm competing with space, not with other plants, but with my partner. So.
See, my brothers.
You laugh, but I'm upset every night.
See, my brother's in Bangladesh at the minute, He's been in Bangladesh for the best part of a year, and since this time last year, we just took over. We've got this.
You took over his garden, did you?
No. He lives with me, so
okay.
we've just taken over his bedroom, put a decorator's table in front of his window.
Oh yeah.
He's got a nice big south facing window, so we put a decorator's table in front of that, and we're just growing everything up there.
That's amazing. Yeah.
And on our kitchen table, and on our living room table, every windowsill in the house is just got plants at the moment.
Yeah, it'll be out soon. A few more weeks.
Yeah.
I hijacked my wife's, so I've got all. That's when it comes to January. That her shoe cupboard turns into my grow room.
See, I'm looking at my porch because it's quite warm in there for most of the day. I'm thinking to clear it out for my plants, not for any other reason.
Can I just say something to Laura, who's trying beetroot for the first time this year? They won't need a lot of space if you multi-sow them. You can use the leaves in salads. Beetroot is so easy to grow.
Yeah. And Leslie, I know you're feeling fighting the good fight.
So, Leslie, have you still got your own allotment, or has Dean taken that over as well?
For me, it's not for plants. It's for lawn. My partner wants to keep the lawn.
What's he going to do on it?
Nothing. He doesn't even play on it.
Well, then dig it.
I just want to dig it up.
See, we've got quite a big grass area.
Yeah.
We've probably got a third of our garden.
You want to nick it 6 inches at a time.
Yes, yes, I think I might do that.
Yeah, he won't notice for that.
But, that's right.
We've got quite a big grassed area. About a third of our garden's grassed, and all the kids are. That's where all the kids are playing. But that's where I do a lot of my building. Do you know, if I'm doing any building work, that's basically my workshop. Or if I'm doing any potting up or anything, I can do it on there as well. So it has lots of functions, and I need grass for my compost and everything else, for my mulch and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
If I didn't have the grass or the lawn, then I'd be looking for sources of grass, and that'd cause me an issue. Who makes their own compost?
I do.
Yeah.
Got loads of the stuff. Sifted some of it this week. Really, really nice.
There's nothing like getting your hands stuck in your own compost, is there?
Man, once I'd sort of sifted it all out, it smelled gorgeous. It felt fantastic.
See, yeah, sometimes I say I love making compost more than I like growing.
I think it's because the cost aspect of it as well, isn't it? And it's multi-purpose. Obviously, you can use it on everything and anything.
Yeah, I mean, it took me a while to learn making compost, and once I got it, and when you get the compost pile heating up and you're getting 60-70 degrees, and it's like, yes, I could cook an egg on this kind of heat. Yeah, it's just one of those things that are really satisfying.
Yeah.
Monty, do you want to pick up on Yusuf's comment?
Which one?
The biology behind compost is really, really interesting, isn't it?
That's the one.
So Yusuf, I grew melons, and I think you're better off starting whenever, but sooner is great, isn't it? What do you guys think?
See, with melons, I mean, he's in Leicester, so he's a little bit warmer than where I am, but not as warm as where you are. I'd start now. You've got a nice conservatory that you can get your plants started in.
You've got conservatory, yeah, but beware of frost, because conservatories can get really cold. And melons don't. tend to like the cold
Yeah, they
conservatory.
soak quite a bit as well. Yeah, so but I think you'd get away with it in your conservatory.
I
Get it
did in
started
mine.
now.
I
Yeah.
started off my melons in the conservatory. It was quite hot and they did all right, but they did start to dry out because how hot it got in May. But I think in Leicester, if you're sowing in March, April, you're better off starting it and keeping it in conservatory past the frost.
You should try frying an egg on your compost. But do you think that
would get a lot of YouTube views?
I might do. Let me have a go.
I'll take the spade out of my compost when it reaches the temperature, and I will have a go at frying an egg on it.
I think we'll have that.
I won't eat it.
Who can fry an egg on the compost? You okay, buddy?
My face fell on a cup.
Fell on a cup. You banged it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let me see that. You got a bruise on there, man. How did you do that?
My foot was on a ball. I slipped, and then my hands lost grip of the sofa, and my face fell onto Mom's cup of tea.
So.
And my water bottle fell.
So this is my baby.
Son.
Yeah.
I'm not a baby anymore.
No, you're getting too too big too fast. Right. Okay. Okay. Stop. Okay. So UK's grow zone 8, some areas 7 or 9. See, drop. It's a weird. It's weird because of the Gulf Stream. We don't fit those exactly. So for grow zone of 9, we don't get quite warm enough in the summer, but we're too cold in the winter for a grow zone of 9. So we're.
There's somebody on here, Belinda, who's tried cooking potatoes in a compost 2 days, and they tasted vile. Well done, Belinda.
No, right. No. Give me a chance. I can't.
Right. Tell me about it. Remember Sky when she came down?
Yusuf, I have a walnut tree in my garden.
All right, now I remember.
You can grow almonds here. If you've got a south, grow them against a south facing wall. Okay. You'd probably be able to do it quite easily. Where you are. If you can grow peaches, then you can grow almonds because they're pretty much the same. Peaches! He's had a haircut today.
About 2 or 3 days. My hair looks so funny. The Asher map will be available on the 31st of March on Nintendo.
So guys, they're all starting to come up and they want to get ready for bed, and they're gonna wreak havoc at any minute.
I don't even remember why I came up.
Because you get
Sky.
Because you get ready for bed. That's why you came up. So we've hit the hour mark. So on that note, let's call it a night for tonight.
Yeah, I've got to go. I've cooked some dinner anyway.
So this is what we're going to. Just 1 second, Dave. So, I'm going to try and bring it. I don't know where Little Ninja is. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and do more interviews for you guys on these live streams, and then once a month, the last Saturday of every month, we're going to give everyone the opportunity. Whoever wants to come up can come up and join us. So it'll be my family, garden, and friends the last Saturday of every month. So let's call it a day there.
This is the last Saturday of the month.
This is the last Saturday of the month.
See you soon. Take care. Bye.
Bye.